evening. Oh, they say it's all about numbers. Some niggas chasing likes, some niggas chasing views, streams. For me, I chase dollars, and that's the difference. Riding through the city like Eddie, I got my semi on me. Bitches better tie up their shoes if they ain't tripping with me. I don't give a fuck about views, nigga, they listen to me. Hate to call it feminine energy when they switching on me. Got my mind right, and they can't CP. Mind start mixing this shit just like a GC. Nigga, I remodel my kitchen off of my EP. Looking like a wizard with minds, but not from DC. Go and get your people, put some money on it. Wish I had $1 for every nigga that fronted on him. Beat drop, nigga, I'm dumping and going dummy on it. He don't stand a chance with me, hitter, I get the hunting for him. California into Hawaii, look at me stunting on him. Local Larry looking for leverage, nigga, that's nothing for him. My reach long, I'm Riddick Bowe. Money made with the counter off of the shoulder roll. It's P Jizzle, the top 10, the totem pole. Beanie Siegel, bully the booth, they all know it, dog. Don't ever think these other niggas fucking with me. Clean shot straight from the shooters, I leave them dusting for me.
Good evening. Welcome. And we're back. The Real, presented by Let's Talk. I'm here. Dwayne's here. Keisha's here. And tonight we will be reviewing The Shaad, Season 8, Episode 1. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey, Dwayne. What's going on, sir? How y'all doing?
Doing
Hanging in there.
Doing all right.
So The Shaad has come back, you guys. Season 8, last season. Close out. Last thing that we remember from The Shaad was Alicia getting killed, her grandbaby being born, Jada passing away, Rashad and Victor getting arrested for being by a dead body, Nuck looking suspicious, the detective getting caught in a pickle and basically being compromised by Nuck and working with Nuck, and then so forth, so on, and then Bart Fitzpatrick, aka what you call this back, Reg. So they started this episode off. I thought was kind of interesting, playing Dangerous Minds and basically Bakari narrating what has happened in the last 3 months. The title of the episode actually is Coldest Winter Ever. I thought that title was a little interesting. And I thought it was a little strange because it didn't seem like it was much cold out there. We didn't see no snow, let alone this is Chicago. So I was expecting to see some snow on the ground, something going on. But now we come back and we see Tiff with the baby and everything. And, she has this portrait up of Alicia, Rob's father, and Rob, all three killed. I thought it was kind of interesting. And Nook looked at the picture like, oh, they wouldn't want me here. No, his hands was behind basically 2 of them getting killed. At least one he killed himself, but 2 of them he basically was, behind it. And we see Emmett juggling with the loss of his mother and fatherhood. He's got multiple kids, so it's going to be multiple growing pains with each child, which I thought was interesting. How that baby mother, the one that didn't leave town, she brought little man back, and little man was looking a little evil. He got them buggy eyes. He came back looking real upset, and as we seen in the episode, he got caught with a gun in his book bag in school. But that's all I got for that. What do you guys think about the episode? I know y'all can't. We're off screen today, so either one of you guys can go first.
Dwayne, you go ahead and go first.
On first watch, I really liked the episode a lot. Where I get in trouble is on second watch, and then I start nitpicking. First thing that came to mind is Reg having sex with Candace and she wearing Alicia's fur while they having sex. Like, come come on with this red fur. Like, leave that thing alone. I was surprised they killed off Zeke and how they killed off Zeke. But if you think back, you could tell that Zeke was talking to somebody. Because even if you go back to the year where they was on the boat, he be asking Nuck. He was asking Nuck a lot of questions. Like, a lot of questions on who he killed, all that. So I could see him being, a snitch for the FBI, because when you think back on stuff, he asks a lot of questions. I don't know why we keep going down this angle with Papa questioning if he a believer or not. Like, we've been down that few roads. I don't like what they've done to Jake. Jake has seen so much in his life that I don't think he'd be moving like they got Jake moving. Reg breaks the door down. It's snowing outside. He letting snow come all up in the house. I don't know why they had Fatima's friend come back. Shaad in jail for life, maybe, and he up here trying to hit on his lawyer. I don't like the whole Darnell thing with his girl living up in Emmett's house. I mean, I get it. I know it's tough being in that house with Jada, but you living up in your son's house and your new girl living up in that, why she ain't got nowhere to go? Like, ain't she like a therapist or something? Like, she ain't got nowhere to live? Keisha's still on her holier than thou ways. And when you really think about it, man, the mess between Keisha, Emmett, Tiff, and Nuck, like, that's real messy. It's like real messy. But I ain't going to keep going. I'm going to give Keisha an opportunity to give us her initial thoughts.
Well, unfortunately, first watch, I did not like it. I did like the Darnell and the Emmett and them talking about like their feelings and missing Jada or what have you. I did like that. Papa, like, even though he was raised in a church, he should be a little more street than what he is. So he just gonna blurt that out to Tiff. I don't know. I just don't like the direction I feel like it's going. Victor and what's the other boy? Like, these are criminals. They wouldn't have moved that body. What they are in jail for is stupid, and everybody was at that house.
Yeah.
Nook feeling uncomfortable. Like, would Nook do the full thing with Tiffany and he done killed her baby father? I mean, that's a little bit diabolical.
It is.
And then she ain't no dummy either. Like, you all into him? And when you gonna get your son?
Can we get Bakari to stop pillow talking? Right, stop pillow talking, Joker.
Yeah, well, men do that. So, but they gonna blame her, and it's Papa.
True.
Like, but it's like all the stuff that you can see. It's no intrigue. Like, and I don't know. I don't like the reincarnation of Reg.
Right.
I liked Reg in the beginning. He was a kid. He was raising his little brother. He was in the street, but you could tell he cared about Jake.
Right. So
I don't know who this person is.
He wouldn't have nobody pulling on Jake.
Right.
One of the things that they did with Reg is they basically brought him back to be everybody's antagonistic. And that really wasn't who Reg was. Reg was basically in the street trying to find his way, but he didn't come off more of like an asshole. And they've made Reg, to me, antagonizing. Nobody want him around. just corny. I do get tired. I as well do get tired of Papa always asking these dumbass questions. Papa be asking questions like he's so naive, but he's stupid. Like he just say stuff like, dude, you know Nook killed your father and you ain't did nothing. Come on, bro. Come on. You know he killed him, and Bakari know he killed his father. Like even going back then, and that was 2 seasons ago. I I did like the episode, which is interesting. But it is some things that is redundant, and they keep going back down the road. I know they won't do it. I thought the Emmett and Darnell conversation was good, but we know that's not where she's gonna go, and we all could
No,
kind of
she
like.
never wants black men to look good, so she's not gonna go that route whatsoever. Um,
And it's like we all could see it's all pointing towards Nook this season. And like Dwayne said, I agree with you. Like we know in inner cities, or not even inner cities, I shouldn't say inner cities. In life, it may be some complications with the baby mother, but we literally have a cross in 2 relationships with baby mothers. And that's kind of like feeding into a stereotype that sometimes it don't be that messy. You could see that Emmett is just he's not really upset that Tiff is with nobody. He don't really like Nook, and he's trying to make it work, but it's like it eats at Emmett, and you can see it.
and I just feel like Tiff was really starting to like Victor, right? So now he's locked up. You don't care? I I don't know. I just don't. I just never really like what they did with Tiff. Um, and it's getting worse. Like, girl, you got these babies. One baby over here. You got this new baby. Your mother don't like Nook. Your
And that
son is on the spectrum, and you're not
and
getting with your kid.
and that has been, I think, one of the biggest things we always, and it seems like every season one of us will mention it. That has always been our biggest issue with any show, but in particular this show, with the character development. They'll develop a character, and then in a season or through a season, they'll just switch them up to something totally different. You basically now you got the assistant Rev talking about him and Pastor Zeke fell out to the dead. No, they didn't. They had a conversation and they were cool. They patched up their differences. Now he has a barbershop called Faith Through Cuts or whatever. Like and he was just a womanizer. Now he's talking about he's practicing celibacy.
But you gotta remember they fast forwarded this 3 months, so you could work under the assumption they may have got into it in that time.
Yeah.
And I don't like Victor either. Like, so nobody now. Tiff, he delivered the baby in the elevator.
Right.
They can't find him on no cameras. A nurse ain't said he fell asleep on that couch.
They tried to say that there wasn't no camera, but one of the things is that you can't take fans like us, people that watch the show, stupid. It was a heat wave in Chicago that day. So everybody was at the hospital. People was passing out. The air conditioners was broken. They had that power outage. The hospital's the one place that got backup generators and stuff. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's just some cornball stuff that goes in there. Like her saying to Darnell, you can't keep having sex in your son's house because you loud. That's corny. Um, like, let's talk about EJ being on the spectrum. That boy, something wrong with that boy, like in real life. And they keep rolling him out here for us to see this joke. That bothers me. And Tiff's mother, you got so much to say. Like,
Why she ain't get her grandbaby?
right. There's just a lot of things. Like Tiff, I think she all over the place. And it asking Keisha if she trusts enough, and she like, I trust him to be a good father. Like, what kind of answer is that? Like, oh, you gotta make an appointment to have sex with me? Like, you know, listen, man. I don't
And
like.
and let me just say this from somebody who dabbles with street dudes a little bit in my youth. Tip baby father just was killed and he wasn't all the way in the street. She gonna pick Nuck, who is the head of the gang or whatever the gang is called, to be her man? I think not.
Sitting on this lap while they discussing
You
business.
got him running his business through your bar or whatever it is, social club. I just don't see Tiff as being that naive and that stupid. And this is my last thought. I agree with Dwayne. That grown ass lady will not be sleeping with Darnell and his son house.
Oh, with all them
Yeah,
kids there, they just gonna add extra bodies to Emmett's situation.
I mean that is a and and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt where they're going in certain directions of the show, but sometimes it's just not practical. A boiler and Darnell, I get the grief. Maybe he would have been staying over there, like to be going through something, and they wouldn't. But to have that scene, like he just like moved on physically, you know, that that is easy for somebody to do, but to have her there is a little far fetched and crazy. She would have most grown women would have never like, nah, I'm not coming over there. I'm not going to do that over to your son's house. And Darnell would have got the boiler fixed. I could see him not staying there, like feeling like, son, let me crash out on your couch or crash out in another room. It's hard for me. They should have
Yeah,
just
but
led with that scene, but to add Wendy Raquel Robinson in the sex scene or have them in the bed, and then he says Jada's name. She's a grief counselor. She was there, so she should understand him saying Jada. Like
I,
that's not
said it.
that's not uncommon.
She said that she knew it. Right, it's part of the grief. It's just like I said. I like the episode, but when you watch it a couple of times, you pick up on things. First of all, knowing Reg, the character that he is, and the way he moving now, he'd have never went to jail to ask Trig if he could move in the house. He'd have just moved. He'd have just put himself in the house.
Yeah,
Like, just put himself into Jake's apartment. And then, like, you telling him it's all y'all houses, but you get to the house and kick the door in and break the door? Like, would you do that for something that you think is yours? Like, some of that stuff. But people that I don't need to see more of in this season, I don't need to see Zeke's wife. I don't need to see Papa's little girlfriend. I guess they're going to make her a girlfriend. And if we could drop one character off, like if somebody could get bumped off next episode, can they please bump off Lene? Just bump her off, please. Like, somebody kill her ass. I'm tired of her. She side-eyeing jokers. She arguing with Bakari. What do you do? Are you in school? Like, is college not going on no more? Like, what do? You hate the street game so much, but you working at Tiff's spot. You telling Bakari you don't want him to be in there and dealing with Nuck, but you dealing with Tiff. It makes no sense, that angle of it.
yeah. It's quite odd.
And with
It's
Tiff,
like okay,
did Bakari self-publish or did the
yeah.
people?
He self-published. Didn't deal with the publisher. Remember on the boat, Keisha, where he
Uh-huh.
basically thought the publisher. And even when she was, that's the one thing she's good at, Dwayne. Other than that, she's aggravating like how Maisha was. Is she told him like, "Yo, you should have went to a publisher." And Bakari, I get for uh he's very Bakari's role because the minute that you think that he's getting it, the minute he reverts back to doing something that's just weird, doing something that appears to be strange. Because why wouldn't he want to listen to her? And they just got back together from the guns and all that other stuff. And
It's a lot of things that you could poke a hole in. The last person I would think Tiff would have a heart to heart about her situation, anything to do with her situation, is Papa. Why would she be talking to Papa about her shit? They're not even on the same level. Like,
yeah. That dynamic is always like weird because
Papa, somebody gotta be unalive. I think Lene is annoying, but I think that's a true character.
yeah,
I think
she may be
I think it's very true,
bump her ass off, please.
but the
always
good
got
thing
an attitude, rolling her
but the
eyes.
but the good thing about Lene is crazy is that she's been consistent. She's been
Yeah,
consistent, and it's like you said, Dwayne. But what purpose? Like in all this that's going on, you were the one in school. Bakari was visiting your class, so now like,
right.
what
But
role do you like?
my point with her is you're talking to this man about get out the game, but you put yourself in the game. You're
Mm-hmm.
working with Tiff. You're in the midst of the game. That part of it, I swear, that part of it makes no sense to me. I'm
Yeah,
tired of
unless they just think Tiff just got a cigar lounge or something like, but
they was doing business in front of her.
yeah, it
That's
makes
Yeah,
no
because
sense.
she yelled at one of the guys, the one.
it was like, why we talking about business in front of somebody that's strange? You know what I'm saying? Like, and Bakari's like, that's my girl. Well, Lene, they're doing business in front of you. If they get raided right now, you getting swooped up in it
So
too.
so Dwayne, old boy is the new Zay.
Yeah, but why? Why bring that character on?
That
Why bring Emmett's other son in the mix?
no, he's in rehab. Damien went to rehab.
Damien will be back though.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Damien. I'm talking about the one that the mother moved away from Chicago with him, and now she's bringing him back. Why is you putting that extra weight on Emmett like with this last season? It doesn't make sense. You should be looking to wrap things up. Like
So he can fail.
right. So you bring Jackie Long. Now Jackie Long character got a girl that's giving him illegal drugs from the.
What about him? What about him and Tracy? Right?
Like, I mean, not even that. Just like, why you bringing her in the mix? What's the sense in these new characters they bringing? Like, how deep are you gonna be able to explore these new characters?
Yeah.
Are we gonna see any scenes inside Smokies or Smokies? We just know that's where Emmett go to do. Like Emmett spent this whole episode laying around the house. Like your son in school, so it ain't like y'all on a break. So while the son in school, your ass ain't going to take care of your business at your place of business. And Rashad going to tell Bakari, go get a job at Smokies. Rashad, I ain't a snitch. He could have been said Victor ain't had nothing to do with it.
Could have been said it.
Ben said it.
And so then the old girl, we know she ain't coming back on the series, Tammy Townsend. But all of a sudden, her character ain't going to say that Rashad was with her. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah, so it's one of the things that even with Pastor Zeke in 3 months, okay, they killed him off the show. When you think about it, like what is the purpose of his daughter and his ex-wife being in there now? Like that should have been the last episode that she's in now.
Yeah, the ex-wife is probably done. The daughter then already told Papa that she loved him. Papa
so Dwayne, I got to message you. So what was the purpose of them bringing Felicia Rashad in last year?
And she wasn't at the funeral.
right, because they ain't paying that freight. We gotta remember, man, cost Felicia Rashad is not a cheap cost for
Yeah.
any show that brings her I'm sure they're giving her a healthy penny for every episode she was a part of.
I didn't understand why they could have had anybody be that type of mother. They ain't need Felicia Rashad.
I agree with you. But it all went back to what Lena was trying to do in season 7. She tried to pay homage to so many shows. You know, that's why she had different scenes the way she had them. You know, skate.
Even in this episode, she went down that Claudine road.
Yeah.
Keisha, I know Claudine's one of your favorite movies. I know you were quite surprised when you seen that little clip.
I didn't understand the purpose.
And it was what you call this. You know, like I said, it was. It was criminal. What Dangerous Minds? Dangerous Minds. They had the Coolio playing.
Who's no longer
because Emmett asked that girl to marry him. That's on her. She ain't got married.
Yeah, soul food.
But she got the ring. I ain't get the ring. You know, just that and other.
Yeah.
You're gonna have all these people up in the house that quick. And the dyke girl was up in there. I hate to call her that. The one that with the braids and all that. She was.
Yeah, she was. I saw her. She ain't had no talking scene, but she was.
But she was in there. And Reg then got a pool in the middle of the floor. All of a sudden, he had time to do that. Put water in it. Have bitches in it with him. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think if you know, we sometimes when we, like I said, second, third watch, you might like the episode, but sometimes second and third watch, you start looking at little stuff and be like, I don't know, like this is just too far fetched, just a little crazy, like, you know. And
when is Reg gonna grow up?
Why would Victor ever leave a gun for Jake? I just don't get that. Like that's he and we all know Jake wouldn't have did nothing to him. Like you said, Dwayne, Jake been through so much, seen through much that, you know, 1 minute you got him as an integral part. Is he selling his clothes? Like, what are we doing here?
Why would he pull a gun out on Reg in front of a house full of people?
Papa smoking the weed again. Papa,
so he messed up Reg's.
Strung out, man. You could tell from the coming of trash. It look like Pop.
Yeah, they're gonna have Papa.
Papa be the one that kills Nuck and go to jail.
Nah, but you remember how they did Kev when they had Kev hitting the bottle. That's about to be Papa. Papa about to wild out. He's gonna be popping pills and all that. And if you look at a Coming to Trasher, something that I didn't like in a Coming to Trasher, and I had to rewind it a couple of times, they show Sonny coming back and going in the Smokies and giving Emmett like the biggest hug. Like
I thought I saw that too.
Like he proud of him. Like I had to rewind that. Like
he didn't come back when his brother, his sister, or his nephew died, but he coming back.
But he coming back and he giving this kid the biggest hug. Like he proud of him. Why would he be proud of him for stealing his business right up under him like that?
That's something, Dwayne, that I believe that she's trying to wrap up. That the fans been letting them have it, but definitely he would not have been given. Not the way Sonny was. He wouldn't have been giving Emmett no hug. He'd have been knocking him upside the head, talking about, "I told you, it's a certain element that I didn't want around this place, and you done changed this place into shit after you swindled me out of my business." He didn't even want his own brother around.
And can I just say this? Papa had a Papa's an influencer and Jake's an influencer. Do we really believe that Bakari wasn't going to listen to them and his book was going to fail? Papa been an influencer since high school or middle school.
There's another scene in the flashbacks, and I agree with you, Keith. There's another scene in the flashbacks, right? Looks like it's holiday time. See, I examined the flashbacks, the fast forwards, and was pausing some of them. But you got Darnell, the new chick. They walking down the street. It's Christmas time. And Darnell is walking down the street with her with Nuck and Keisha's son on his shoulders. That's not his grandson. Like, why would he have him?
Yeah.
That's not his grandson. Unless they're like, oh, that's the step grandson. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I guess they all took that little boy, Ronnie. Is his name Ronnie under their wing? But
And let me ask you another question. I don't know, and maybe I'm overanalyzing it because it's a TV show, so I know I'm overanalyzing. You both commit a crime. You both are guilty of murder. They're not gonna make y'all cellies. They're gonna put y'all in the same cell.
absolutely not.
That could happen, but I mean that's weird. The whole them being locked up going into the season is just weird. We sometimes you gotta just like Dwayne said in your opening, Wayne. They wouldn't have moved the body. They would have moved the body. He talked about even at the end of that episode. Let's put her up. We can't leave her like this. Well, you should have left her like this. Just it doesn't. That whole narrative around those two don't make no sense. And then you got Rashad trying to hit on the probation on the public defender. Come on.
Is she a
But and then
public?
it's like it's cameras.
But I don't think she's a public defender. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't think she's a public defender. A public defender ain't going as hard as this woman is going for him. They're going to do the bare minimum. So as I'm watching the show, I'm like, who's paying for this lawyer? Is Tiff paying for the lawyer? Like,
She
who's
could
paying?
be.
That's what I said. It got to be Tiff paying for the lawyer because I'm sorry, Q. Ain't no public defender calling.
Tiff
You
ain't,
know,
Tiff ain't listen. Tiff ain't paying for no lawyer for Rashad or
well,
Victor
who's paying for the lawyer?
because if Tiff got the money, it's coming from Alicia, and they charged with Alicia's murder. I mean, I think you know
Tiff
we
know
might
they
be
ain't
just
do it.
we
Tiff
we
know they ain't do it though. You see
we
what I'm
got
saying?
we got to look at it like it's just a show and not look at how we would think it in real life it is. Because if we look at how real life is, this uh, drama it's
Because
not
if
it's
it
not
was real
practical.
life, their cell phones would have pinged. They'd have
Yeah.
already determined what time she was unalived. They got there hours
And
later.
that's but Keisha, and that's the funny thing. That's the one thing we don't see. We don't see them ever use a cell phone on here. We don't see none of that stuff, which is interesting. But y'all know, once we get halfway through, and we're more than halfway through, uh, we do our rating. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Keisha, you can go first. Jump out that window.
Well, you know what though? I am going to do something that I'm probably going to regret. But I'm going to give it a 5 and say I'm just being too hard.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Mark my
whoa.
words, I'm going to regret it.
No, I don't think you will. I don't think so. Because for me, I'm giving it
Huh?
A 5?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Honestly, you gave it
yeah.
a Dwayne, you want to go?
I'm giving it a 7.5, man. Like I really am. You know, it's some things that I didn't like about it, but you know, I think I was glad it's back. Being totally honest, I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it's something to watch. And the little things that I have issue with, like they, one thing they did do with this episode is they wrap certain things up. They told you, yo, Dayman rehab, you ain't gonna see him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see him. They got Zeke up out of there. You ain't gonna see him. I don't think you're gonna see Tracy at all.
No, she left.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna see her at all. So they wrap that up. You won't see Lala. You know, there's certain things that they wrapped up, but
Thank God.
Overall, I thought it was decent, and I'm feel real good and solid, giving it a 7.5.
Mm. I'm giving it a 7 actually. I absolutely loved the episode, to be honest with you guys, but I have to give it a 7. I can't go further than that. I thought it was really good. I got up early enough to watch it. I think I'm glad that it's is back, and I'm glad that it's ending. Um, looking forward to what's next. I mean, one thing that I said to myself before we did the show and before it came back was I am going to appreciate the show for what it's been. Uh, and in my assessment, in my scoring, probably going forward, is I'm not going to look too much into it because we can, the way we do our reviews, we can tear this show to threads because we look at every nook and cranny. We look at everything. It got to be a purpose for this stuff, and a lot of these shows they tend to throw shit against the wall and see what sticks, and then they can always pick it back up later. And we catch that stuff. We catch little dumb plots that they do, and they never pick back up on it because the fans and or the writers choose that it wasn't worth talking about. So I really enjoyed the episode, and I thought it was good. I thought it was it's good to be back, and it's good. It's going to be good. The end. I think the end will probably be with Emmett, who basically is the one star who's been in every episode, with Emmett leaving Chicago.
It's a good segue. I think bold predictions. I think Tiff gonna wind up killing Nook. I think she gonna shoot him, X him up out of here. I think Papa gonna be strung out. I think it's gonna come to a head with Reg. I think Reg's gonna be knocked off. And I honestly think he may not want to do it, but I think Jake gonna be the one to knock Reg off. So those is two predictions on knockoffs that I think gonna happen. I think Reg gonna die, and I think Nook gonna die.
Um, I haven't even looked that far into projections. I definitely do see something happening to Nook. Um, who did it? I also see something possibly happening to Papa or Lene, or something. They put Bakari so much in the forefront that maybe something's gonna happen to him. So that's the most prediction that I've done. Hopefully, Emmett and Keisha get married. Hopefully.
Mm.
Um,
I think the wins, as you said, was Emmett and Keisha is gonna be a win. And I think when it's all said and done, I don't know why, but I think they're gonna make Bakari come out a winner with the book and all that stuff. Because though we talk about this one and that one, and Bakari is just walking around Chicago free, and everybody know he killed Ronnie.
yeah, you see how dude was like, I ain't Ronnie, I shoot back.
You know,
I
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
So everybody
I
knows.
for me I can't look far. This show, what Lindsay does, that her crazy pivots in that writer's room or whoever's doing writing each episode, they take these twists. So I can't look. I just don't know. I just have no idea what they intend to do with this show, and I'm just going to try to enjoy it and be ready for episode 2 of season 8. You
Well,
guys got any thoughts?
if you look at the coming attractions,
Uh
that's
oh.
able to come up with some of these bold predictions because you see Tiff with a gun shooting somebody. Who else she gonna shoot? She gonna shoot Emmett?
Well, I don't know, but I look forward to seeing what they bring me next week.
Yeah, 10 episodes. They got a lot that they got to do. They gonna wrap some more things up, and like right now, you don't really need the You don't need Rotimi or Carucci's storyline. Brings nothing. Like, I don't need to see the two of them no more. So, it's going to be interesting. There should be some cops, like, asking people questions. Like, ain't no cops asking people questions about Trig and Shaad. Like, there's no cops that will be coming around asking questions.
They don't care.
You know what I'm saying? It's just... And Shaad, the dumbest criminal in the world. What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe? You single? Single? Say she is. You in jail, Joker. You can't do that with her.
Well,
and just one last thing. Lene just got this house to herself. How they paying for the bills? How they... Her brother and Dom going, how they paying for the bills?
Bakari.
That's Bakari street money.
Mm-hmm.
They got Papa living there with them. Now Jake living there. What's this, a boarding house? Jake talking about, nah, I ain't going to keep laying up on y'all, but you still laying up on them. Where's y'all seeds at? All right, Q, end the show.
with that, take care. Remember, the best way to support what we do is to like, share, subscribe. Until next time. Hey, do y'all got any words on Nemesis?
Until next time.
There's no power.
It's the West. I go by the name of P. Grant, and I'll be your host for the evening. They say it's all about numbers. Some niggas chasing likes, some niggas chasing views, streams. For me, I chase dollars, and that's the difference.
Riding through the city like Eddie, I got my semi on me. Bitches better tie up their shoes if they ain't tripping with me. I don't give a fuck about views, nigga, they listen to me. Hate to call it feminine energy when they switching on me. Got my mind right, and they can't CP. Mind start mixing this shit just like a GC. Nigga, I remodel my kitchen off of my EP. Looking like a wizard with minds, but not from DC. Go and get your people, put some money on it. Wish I had $1 for every nigga that fronted on them. Beat drop, nigga, I'm dumping and going dummy on it. He don't stand a chance with me.